Hello and welcome to another episode of Can't Stop the Growth. I'm your host, Chad Peterman, and today we are going to take a look back at some audio from one of our Future Leaders Series meetings here at Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, where I talked a little bit about leadership and how you can use different principles to be a better leader regardless of what your title says. So, huge believer in that everybody is a leader. It just comes down to really how you perceive yourself and your willingness to help others and to continue to move forward. So without further ado, we'll jump into that audio and take a look. Hope you enjoy. You start to talk about leadership, and we've talked about it a number of times, and so you're like, well, I want to make sure that I say something new and exciting and different things of that nature. And I started to think back on when my own kind of leadership journey began. It was really cool to kind of think back on that. There's a few times in my life, ever since, I'm trying to think, I can't remember how old I was, but I was on a soccer team, and the coach pulled me and another guy aside and kind of didn't necessarily formally say that we were the captains of the team, but kind of put us in charge of the team. I mean, we had maybe like 4th or 5th grade. So very young and obviously didn't have any concept of leadership or anything like that. We understood like captain, okay, you go out for the coin toss, like the referee talks to you if they need something done or whatever it is. And so that was kind of your concept of what leadership was. As I took on, was in those roles a number of times, and then in high school was when obviously you're captain of the football team, and you kind of, at that point in time, like they expect you to like lead, they expect you to be a leader, okay? You're a captain, you're gonna go out for the coin toss, but then, hey, we got a team here that is trying to accomplish a big goal. And as I kind of reflected back on that, that was a time when myself and the other guys on the team, very unsure of what we should do. Didn't really understand, okay, we're struggling. How do we get out of this? Everyone's looking to us to like come up with a magic solution to how we're going to do better. And so that was a very kind of scary part of kind of my life when I think back on it, because I didn't know what to do. I was uncertain, didn't know what was expected of me and how I was going to make a change for the positive. And I think that's the case with even leadership in today's society is a lot of people are scared of it. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want that responsibility. Not me. That seems like a lot, or I'm not sure what to do. And really, the funny thing is that it's very simple stuff. You've got to get over the fact that there's responsibility involved. You've got to get over the fact that there is no rule book. There is no end goal in leadership. There's goals along the way, but it's always a process. It's always developing. And as I was kind of preparing this, I usually prepare them in the morning. As I thought back on my leadership experience and kind of where I came from and where I am now and now kind of teaching this and different things like that, I kind of had, one of those moments where like pieces start to like align together and you're like, oh my God, I get it now. And so that was what I was trying to figure out as I was like, okay, well, how can someone learn to be a leader? I've kind of learned along the way, well, how did I get here? And then how do I continue to develop and continue to progress? And so, as I normally do, when I come up with one of these ideas, I start writing it down. Well, I was like, oh, this is perfect for Blake's journal. She's got to know this, because this could be, if I knew this when I was a little kid, like in 4th grade, being the captain of the soccer team, this would be really cool. And so I wrote to her. I wrote this to her, which I couldn't be happier about. I'm really, really excited for her to one day read this. And it reads, I was preparing a lesson I'm teaching, and this was yesterday morning. I was preparing a lesson and I'm teaching my class tomorrow on the subject of leadership, and thought of you as I was writing it. I was trying to think back in my life when I became a leader. I was named captain of teams when I was younger, but I never knew what that meant. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do in that role. I think the reason I was picked was because I was leading myself. I've always been good at this piece. The piece that I have had to continue to develop is empowering others to be at their best, creating an environment where they feel challenged and supported at the same time. Everyone can be a leader when your mission is to impact others in a positive way. Ask yourself the question always, how am I going to interact with someone today in a way where I change their life through my actions? Leadership starts and ends with coming from the right place. If you understand that your life will grow abundantly with the more people you impact, you will always be in a leadership role. There again, to me, that is why leadership shouldn't be scary for anybody, because we all have the capability to be leaders. We all should be leaders. And leadership is about impacting and empowering others. So there again, a funny story that puts a laugh on everybody's, gives everybody a laugh and loosens the mood. That's leadership. You're helping others. Sitting and talking with a friend who's going through a tough time, that's leadership. You're taking the time to impact their life. And to me, that is the key to any great leader, is coming from the right place. You've got to come from a place where you want to impact others. And you don't need a title, you don't need a role, you don't need people following you. You just need to understand that you need to go out and help people. You need to go out and make their life better. And if I would have known that as a fourth grader, if that would have been present in my life, there again, when I think back on it, that is kind of what I was doing. I just didn't know it. As the captain, you went over and helped some guy, or made sure everybody was good, or, hey, there's a problem. Okay, well, how are we going to fix it? There again, you're just making things better. And to me, as you make things better, people will start to follow that. They want to follow people who are positive. They want to follow people who are intent on helping them succeed. And a lot of that is getting people moving in the right direction. As a leader, you've got to kind of cast that vision. You've got to show others who may be struggling where the path is. The path is to impact others. So you oftentimes get people who, selfish, I'm over here, I'm just worried about myself, everybody else get out of my way, different stuff like that. No one's following that person. I don't care if they're the rock star, salesperson, or the rock star this or that. If they're all about themselves and not helping anybody else, no one is going to follow them. And as a leader, you've got to cast the vision to get everybody moving in that direction you want to move in, that direction that should be moved in. Because ideally, if you're going to achieve big things, you're going to need help. And you've got to get people to see where you want to go. What's in it for them? How can you help them? And so oftentimes, leadership gets lumped in with kind of that management, and I'm just going to tell everybody what to do and listen to me and do this. Well, that's all great, but how are you helping the people that are supposed to be following you? How are you helping them achieve more? The more you help them achieve, the more everybody's going to achieve. And it all starts with coming from the right place. It all starts with that mindset of wanting to help others. And we've talked a lot this morning about, leading ourselves, taking action, creating that vision for ourselves of where we're going. Ultimately, if we don't have that, if we are unable to act, if we don't have that faith in ourselves, if we're not willing to give that extraordinary effort, it's going to be very hard to get that out of others. It's really hard for me to sit on the sidelines and not accomplish my goals, not put in that extra effort, not be doing those consistent things day in, day out, and expect others to do that as well. And that consistency, when you are consistently looking to help other people, again, it is a snowball. Because then people start to come to you because they want you to impact their life. And as you impact their life, your life is in turn impacted. You begin to grow. You learn stuff from them. They bring you stuff. They start accomplishing things because you're helping them. They start accomplishing things that indirectly help you as well. But you've got to lead yourself. You've got to have that faith in yourself that by you becoming better, you will in turn make them better. You're never selfish for working on yourself. I work on myself every single morning, every chance I get. Because I know that if I can become better, if I can learn something and then share it, similar to this setting, that's going to help me. That's going to help me become a better leader, because maybe there's a piece that one of you guys pick up and you use that piece to, start a new project or impact a customer's life or whatever it may be. You use that to go help someone else. Well, then it starts to compound, and you create a ripple effect of where your actions, because they were directed at helping somebody, ultimately help so many more people. And the other piece of that is really taking responsibility for that, taking responsibility for the impact that you have on others. Ultimately, as a leader, as we've talked many a times, the responsibility lies on you. The actions of your people are a direct reflection of your leadership. That's the tough part. That's the tough part about leadership, is that it is not telling people what to do. It is not getting mad when they don't do what they're supposed to do. It's taking responsibility for when they do something wrong. That is my responsibility to fix that problem. It's not your responsibility to do it for them. It's your responsibility to help them fix the problem, to lead them in the right direction to getting that fixed. We've had numerous examples of where things have went wrong here over the last couple of weeks, which is perfectly fine. I wouldn't say wrong. And I have tried to be an example of we can find something to get better at. This is just an opportunity to get better. And in that is me taking responsibility for the situation. It's if something went wrong, ultimately, it's my responsibility to get it fixed. There again, is it my responsibility to go out and do that? No, but it's my responsibility to take control of the situation and let's get it fixed, And a lot of that responsibility comes with being positive about the situation. Responsibility, I find so much when you're faced with a tough situation as a leader and you're not sure what to do, you find positivity when you take responsibility. Because at the end of the day, who are you going to get mad at? The only person you can get mad at is yourself. So there is great power in taking this responsibility and saying, there's a problem. I'm responsible for fixing it. I'm not going to fix it by being negative. I'm not going to fix it by flying off the handle. You see so many people talk about, the manager screaming, yelling, doing all this stuff. Well, he has not taken, or she has not taken responsibility for the problem. All they've done is blame it on somebody else. That's not leadership. That's not empowering others. That's not impacting others. That's just screaming at them. The positive outlook is tied to that responsibility. And there again, people probably look at me like I'm crazy half the time because I refuse to be negative about any situation that we have. There are times I have to catch myself. There are definitely times I have to catch myself. But the one thing that I always do and consistently do, there are times when if something happens, my immediate reaction, which is perfectly fine, it's human, my immediate reaction is wanting to scream and yell and just fly, like, you have got to be kidding me. How can you think that? Why are you doing that? You've got to be, and the one thing that I always do is before I do anything, I just take a step back. Just take a step back from the situation. A lot of times I'll sleep on it. And I'll wake up the next day and, okay, we got a problem. We just need to fix it. No problem. There again, can I make that, can I be positive in the flow of the situation every time? No, I can't. It's human nature. I found myself a couple times this week with people did things and I'm just like, oh my, like, why would you do that? That makes no sense whatsoever. But at the same time, it's take a step back and then take responsibility. Okay, well, if so-and-so did that, and that's not good, we need to do something different. No, it's my responsibility to sit down with that person and let's figure out why it went that way. Let's coach up on how we want things to go a different way, and let's find a positive. Let's move forward as opposed to getting upset and compounding the issue and then ultimately never moving forward. Leadership is always moving forward. Always want to be moving forward. There's going to be setbacks, but a setback doesn't have to be a setback. It can be a stepping stone. It's just a learning opportunity that is presented there. And oftentimes, the best part about learning opportunities is we often learn a whole heck of a lot more from stuff that goes wrong than we ever do from stuff that continues to go right. Anytime things go wrong here, I think about it's been a couple of months ago now, we were struggling really with the, with warranty calls and always going back. And, we sat down and we fixed the problem and we used it as an opportunity to really get better as a company. But we could have looked at it as, well, this would be a great time to scream at the technicians for not fixing the problem. I don't understand why they can't fix it. That is their job. I don't understand. But really, the root of the problem was we just weren't taking responsibility for the issue that we had. Once we took responsibility, the whole team got better. The whole team realized how important it is to get the customer taken care of in a timely fashion, how important it is for us to get better as a company. Right now, as far as warranty and stuff like that goes, I think we're in a really, really great spot because we've got a process in place. Everybody understands the importance. Are there going to be, pitfalls in the future? Absolutely. But what we do know is that we've improved it. Now we just got to keep moving. Now we just got to keep moving forward. And so leadership is one of those things that it's very easy to get overwhelmed. It's very easy to think that it's a huge responsibility, but at the end of the day, it comes down to little actions each and every day. where you're moving forward and you're impacting those that are in your life. And when you can do that, when you can cast that vision, everybody understands what needs to take place, you then take that and you lead yourself, which then transfers over to those that you are leading, and then take responsibility for what is going on, how things are transpiring, and how we need to fix situations and how we need to keep moving forward. That's leadership right there. That is taking your talents, your abilities, and acting on them, and promoting and encouraging those to act as well. And when they act, you're impacting their life. When they make the right steps because of your outlook, because of the vision that you've cast, because of the responsibility that you are taking for the situation, people will follow. And you'll always, always be in a leadership position.